Our next guest is Rekha Mehr, MBE, who is the Director of Business Development and Partnerships at the MassChallenge UK. MassChallenge is a unique business accelerator which started in Boston and is now in the UK and various other parts of the world, which Rekha will tell us about. Welcome, Rekha.
Good evening, thank you for having me.
Tell us all about MassChallenge.
So, absolutely, we're a global accelerator. We are the most startup-friendly accelerator on the planet. Why? Because we operate as a not-for-profit organisation ourselves. We don't take any equity from our entrepreneurs. We're obsessed with helping entrepreneurs from any industry. And we give away cash awards to those that create the highest impact.
Wow, okay. And so you're in which countries? Boston and the UK we know about.
Correct.
Yeah.
And as of this year, also Mexico, Switzerland and Israel.
Wow, okay. So you're not-for-profit. Explain the model. I know it's corporate sponsor supported.
Yeah, absolutely. So we get our funding from a variety of sources, including governments or universities or foundations, but the majority comes from corporate sponsors. So we typically exchange cash sponsorship for values and benefits from our program. So we provide exposure to our startups, the technology that they're developing, and in exchange for the startups, they provide opportunities to pilot that technology and potentially become customers of that technology as well.
Wow. So you've got some pretty big names on the supporting you. JP Morgan, Visa, Crowdcube. What do they get from it?
Some of their staff offer their time to the startups in office hours. They judge some of the applications that come through. We also make introductions to our global network of innovation pioneers. So as we continue to grow the MassChallenge Accelerator Hub around the world, so does our community, and they're an incredibly connected community. All of the startups that come through the program become part of our alumni network, and we now have 835 companies that we have supported to date. Those companies have created over 6,500 jobs, raised over $1 billion of investment capital, and raised over $500 million of revenue.
Wow. So tell me, so I know this is year 2 of MassChallenge in the UK. Explain the process for companies wanting to become part of MassChallenge.
Absolutely. So it's a competition framework, and we have a 6-week application window. So as of now, companies can apply to Boston, Israel and Switzerland. And then from the 19th of May, they'll be able to make their application for the UK and for Mexico. They'll go through 2 rounds of judging. And we typically take the top 10% of all applications. So last year for the UK alone, we had over 800 applications. They get, of the applications that we take in, the finalists for the programme, they get 4 months of concentrated support. So free office space, access to our global network of experts. They're part of that solid peer cohort, which is something that they value hugely, to work with companies across all sectors, and then the chance to win part of a £500,000 prize fund at the end of it.
And so 800 companies last year, how many are you anticipating this year?
We'll try for over 1,000 applications this year.
Of how many will get through into the...
90.
90, okay.
Yes.
And you've got I've actually been to the space at Tobacco Dock. It's an amazing space. It's how big is it? It's huge.
We've got 11,500 square feet, taking over just over a quarter, and it is really nice. It's really unique. We've got our yellow telephone boxes, beautiful exposed brickwork. It's different. It's definitely different.
And do you get involved in helping those companies seek funding when they're moving towards the end of the programme?
Yeah, absolutely. So whilst we're different in that we don't offer any of that funding up front, a vital part of what we do is connect them to the funding landscape, whether that's crowdfunding, debt or equity. Crowdcube, actually, so the first and the biggest crowdfunding platform in the UK, are one of our partners. And whilst they conduct their own activity to find startups, they're also working with us to find good quality, high impact startups at an early stage. So they've already supported 3 of the startups in our cohort, raised over £750,000.
Wonderful. Okay. And last year, did you find of the 90 companies coming in, was the majority of them tech companies?
So tech is a large proportion, probably about 45%, but we have high tech, low tech and no tech. Right. So we have tea businesses, we have clothing businesses, healthcare, life sciences, and then people working on virtual reality and gaming.
And how does the mentor interaction come about? How does that work for the companies?
Yeah, so we have built our mentor network ourselves from good quality referrals. We've built them from the ground up. The mentor and the mentee have to mutually select each other. So we run what we call sort of a speed dating style event where they can meet in person, make sure it's a good fit and there's the right level of expertise. And every startup gets between 2 and 3 mentors. So there isn't just one single sort of ear of advice.
And those mentors would be in specialist areas like finance or marketing or
yeah, some of them have deep sector specific expertise or functional expertise, and some of them order sort of a more broad sense. They could help them think about what they need to consider when they're building out their management team, or how to build out a strategic board of advisors, or how to, you know, really get into raising finance within the healthcare sector. I think with over 300 mentors on our books, we're able to offer something for everybody. Wow.
And the website that people go to check it out is?
state the obvious, MassChallenge.org.
Fantastic. Rekha, thank you very much. That was Rekha Mehr, MBE, Director of Business Development and Partnerships at MassChallenge UK, a very significant and exciting incubator in Tobacco Dock in East London.